Members of the South African Cleaners, Security and Allied Workers Union have been camping outside the Gauteng Health Department office for over 12 weeks now. They're demanding their jobs back from the security companies which were contracted to the department after they were fired in March, allegedly without an explanation or severance pay. Now, the SACSAU General Secretary is Andries Potsane. He joins us in studio to tell us more about the plight of these workers. Mr. Potsane, good evening to you and thank you for your time. Let's start with how many workers we are talking about here who have lost jobs since the end of March.
Okay, no, good evening, Koli, and then also the viewers. We are talking about plus minus 400 and something workers who lost their job during elections time.
Yeah.
You know, we are talking about the people who started to work for service providers since 2014. And then on the 31st of March, we have noticed that their contract of employment is going to be terminated. And then we engage the MEC of Department of Health, Me Nkomo, to highlight some issues that can you consider the security officers who are still working?
Yeah.
You know, because immediately their contract is being terminated. That thing itself is going to create unemployment in our country because majority of people are going to lose job.
Yeah.
You know, can you please consider that, you know? Because as a union, we have already also realized that in our country, crime is too high, you know? And then we engage with her, but she never listened to us.
So let's talk about when their employment was suddenly terminated in March, at the end of March. Were they given their salaries at that time? If not salaries, were they given their pensions? What is their situation right now?
Now, Koli, to be honest to you, this thing is not the first time to happen. Remember, I think it was in 2022, we camped outside the Edenvale Hospital for more than 2 months. The same thing happened whereby plus minus 100 security officers lost a 3 months salary. The service provider ran away with salaries. We are not talking about the benefits. We engaged with the department. The department, can you please intervene in this matter to understand? And the department decided, no, we don't have a contract with you. We are having contract with service providers, you know. And then these security officers also lost their benefits, Provident Fund, and then UIF, you know. And then this one now, that happened on the 31st of March, they also lost their salary. They also lost their Provident Fund, UIF. There is a company that was tendering service at the Department of Health head office here in Johannesburg, where the MEC is situated, you know. We explained to her, or this company that is here, that is guarding these premises, is not complying. Members are not being paid accordingly, according to SIRA rate. Members are not being paid in time. Provident Fund is not there. UIF is not there. And the company, on the 1st of April, the company decided to run away. We are still looking for the company even today. You know, we engage the department, or can you assist these poor workers, you know, who are sleeping outside the Department of Health? As from the 10th of April, remember it was winter time now.
Yeah.
We are talking about mothers and fathers, you know. Some of them, they are having a chronic diseases.
Can I ask you this question? Were the Provident Fund payments being deducted from their salaries? Were the UIF contributions being deducted from their salaries?
It's being deducted from their salaries, from their pay slips,
Yeah.
do you understand? And then that deduction, you know, it must be paid to the Provident Fund scheme or administrator, you know. Because remember, if tomorrow you are unemployed, you are depending from that money, do you understand? For example, UIF, if UIF was deducted from your salary, when your contract is terminated or when you lost your job, we are depending from that UIF, you know. But these companies, they did not pay this UIF and Provident Fund to the scheme, to understand. It's a national matter, to understand. And then remember, Toli, we voted in 1994. And then when we voted in 1994, we vote for better life for everybody. We never vote for better life for one.
Yeah.
You know, but what is happening in our government currently, only few people who are benefiting, you know.
Yeah.
After we came at Department of Health, court order was issued. The MEC decided to apply for a court order, and then we respected that court order, and then we went to Diagonal Park where we camped, and then I remember it was on Saturday on that day, and then it was raining, and then we decided, no man, let us go to the African National Congress. You know, maybe they can help these poor workers in this matter, to understand.
Before you get to the African National Congress, these are the ANC headquarters. You went there in May. I've read about that, but I want us to come to that a little later.
Okay.
Before we get there, do you know whether these security companies that were contracted to the Department of Health are registered with CIRA? This is the Private Security Industry Regulatory Agency.
Some not, Coli, some not. They are not registered. Majority of this security company, we make our own investigation, and then we find out or a few of them are registered, but the majority are not registered.
But how does that happen? How can a government department decide to go into a contract with companies, security companies that are not registered with the regulator, because surely that is flouting the law?
That is why, Coli, we decided, or no, we must camp, you know, and the government must intervene. If you can, we can check our boards there, our banners whatsoever. We indicated, or no, we want the government to appoint a commission of inquiry to investigate these companies. Because majority of these companies were awarded a tender once again, whereas are not complying. And then we ask ourselves, for how can you award a tender to a company that is not complying? There is another company that is being awarded a tender in Bronco-Sprayed, to understand. That company, we find it out now that the company is not complying, you know?
All right. Can I just ask you to pause there for a moment, because some of the security guards you represent, they're actually on the line with us, and they join us now. We're joined by, all right, I'm told that they're actually not on the line. They will be joining us in studio, in fact, at any moment now. So we'll continue the conversation with Andries. Andries, let's then talk about the reason you decided that you are now going to take your protest with these workers to Luthuli House. What happened there?
You know, the reason why we decided to know we must engage the African National Congress is because of we thought maybe they will intervene, you know, in this matter, because that is the government that these security officers, they voted in 1994, to understand. But during our engagement with the African National Congress, you know, they promised us, or no, we will intervene.
Yeah.
But to our surprise, totally, police arrived with court order, or no, you must leave our premises. We don't have a contract with you. We are having a contract with service providers. And then what we have done, we just move across the road to the STAR offices, to understand. But to our surprise, totally, we were arrested while we were at the STAR office, because we respected the court order as security officers. We advise our members, or no man, let us respect the court order. You know, let us leave to the house, because it's like they're not willing to assist the workers on the ground. Yeah. And then we suspect, you know, or a majority of these service providers are being run by the politicians, to understand. We can mention some in the later stage.
Is that the reason you decided to take the march
100%.
Outside Luthuli House? Because when you're going to say you suspect that these companies are run by politicians, and you are taking the march to a specific political house, which is Luthuli House, that immediately connects or it makes a connection to the ANC. I don't want you to mention names because that would not be responsible on my part unless you are able to tell us that you have proof that you can put before court and say, this is why we are naming and shaming this person, because we know that they are a politician with this political company.
No, Koli, I think that one is well known, you know, whereby majority of the service providers have been run or owned by the political leaders. You do understand? That's why I'm saying in the later stage, we will mention this. Or this company and this company and this company belongs to this. And some of them, you know, they are having, how can I put it, positions, to understand, in these political parties. That is why, even if they're not complying, to understand, no one is doing anything, you know, because they're untouchable. To understand, there is nothing that the government can do for them, to them, in other ways. And then we're asking our service security officers, if our government is going to be run in this way, what is going to happen in 10 years to come?
All right, let's bring into the conversation now Sfiso Skosana and Umama Rosina Mahlangu. Sfiso, can I start with you?
No problem.
When you were dismissed from the company, when was this and how long had you been working for that company?
3 years. I've been working for the company for 3 years, and I've been dismissed on the 31st of March this year. Yeah.
So
all these years I was working.
When you were dismissed, were you given your salary at least at the end of March?
The last thing I got was my salary, but I didn't get my leave money, my provident fund. I didn't get such. Some of us didn't get their UIF money. They haven't get that money yet.
Are you able to claim for UIF?
We tried, but they didn't get it. They say they are not registered.
The company is not
They didn't register them, yeah.
But was money being taken from your salary towards
the
Provident Fund?
Yeah, we do have proof from our pay slips that they were deducting the money, but they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama Mahlangu, let's come to you. When you were dismissed from work, how long were you with that company?
Ngisebenze 9 years from 2015 until 2024 nge-31 zaka March.
Yeah.
Uma i-contract iphela.
Batheni isizathu sokuphela komsebenzi?
Bathe i-contract iphelile, baterminate ama-contract wabo, mara abasinikanga incwadi. Thina saze nge-31 uma umsebenzi uphela ukuthi umsebenzi uphelile. Besingazi lutho. Kwase kuza enye company, le company leyo yathi mayingena yathi izasithatha sonke. Mayifanele isithatha sonke umkhansela wase Soshanguve, ngubuye Soshanguve. Block TT Ward 89 umkhansela wethu wathi angasithathi, wafaka abantu bakhe be-ANC. Lo ngine proof yabo. I-proof yakhona nginayo mina. Ngoba thina sakhipha umkhanselara, asikakhiphi i-company. Umkhanselara uye otshela i-company ukuthi engasithathi.
Ubusebenzela le company for 9 years?
Bengisebenzela i-Alice Counterforce for 9 years.
And bathini nge-pension yakho?
Angina Provident Fund, angina UIF, angina bonus, angina lutho. Kusho ukuthi la ngikhona angina lutho. Ngishiye nje abantwana ekhaya. Ngize la eJoburg nge-10 zaka April. Ngiza nami ngithi angize ngizo strike, ngizobona ukuthi bazasinikeza na. Sahlala e45 nge-10. Masihlala e45 basinikeza i-protection order yokuthi abasasifune e45. Sasuka e45 saya lapha ku Albertina Sisulu Park. Sahlala khona imvula yana, sahamba saya eLithuli. Sithi bazasiza ngoba sibavotela ngithi ngo1994 savota, sibavotela ukuthi bakhona ukusisiza. Bona zange basisiza, basibizela amaphoyisa. Ngilele eSun City for 5 days. Ngiboshiwe.
Okay, just to explain briefly what Ms. Mahlangu is saying, and that is that she'd been working for this company, and she mentions the company's name, for 9 years, and since her dismissal, which was in March this year.
March this year, 31.
Yeah. So since her dismissal from her employment, which was on the 31st of March this year, she has not received a cent. And very aggrieved, and she is quite specific. The allegations are being made specifically towards the ANC, which automatically means that we will have to give them a right of reply, given that they are being mentioned here. Sfiso, I want to quickly come to you. The Department of Health, because that's where most of you are now camping, demanding either to be re-employed or at least get your monies. That department is saying it cannot get involved between employees and their employer because they are simply a third party as a department. How do you respond to that kind of statement? How does that statement sit with you? Do you understand?
As into I understand ukuthi bona banamandla ukuthi bangakhuluma nabantu ababaqashile because bona ababaqashile labo bantu labo and bayazi baphethe imali yethu for effect ukuthi thina sizile kibo sabatshela ama concern wethu bekufanele njengabantu esibavotele baphethe country yethu bahambe bakhulume nabantu ababaqashile. It's not that hard ukuthi ungahlule ukukhuluma nomuntu employee ukuthi abuye azolungisa inkinga zakhe, but bona if bas rejected, that means bona nabo abana ndaba ninkinga esibhekene nazo. Bona babheke ukuthi namhlanje bayaphatha into ebayijabulisa kuyileyo kuphela. Abana ndaba nokuthi na sikuphi la simekhona because for effect ukuthi sina 4 months to 5 months sihleli lapha bangana next bayenza bangezi kunozosibuza inkinga zethu. It shows ukuthi abana ndaba, the only thing they wanted bekumama vote nge-29 kuphela.
Very quickly, uma njengoba nihlezi lapha nisa outside the Department of Health, niphila kanjani day to day?
Day to day siphila ngama donation. Every day abantu basidonate abakhona ukudonate lokho, sometimes asidli, sometimes siyakhona ukudla if badonatile kuya ngokuthi kwenzakalani la ngalelo abantu bakhona ukudonate na. Sometimes into ziyabheda because izulu liyana silele khona, into zethu ziyathamba, sometimes siyazama ukuthi sivike la sivika khona but akuhlangani mara siphambi kwaba kunento abayenza kabana ndaba. Every day basidlula khona basibhekile.
All right, Andries, we completely out of time. How are you helping these workers? Because by now, it seems that there are quite a few things that are problematic here. Contributions towards either pension or UIF are not being made, and yet monies were being taken from workers' salaries, including that some of these companies are not registered with CIRA. Surely, by now, as a union, you should be putting legal papers together.
Only
30 seconds.
You know what happened? We go to CCMA, we are from bargaining council, these companies are not even coming. You know, we file our cases for money owing, for unfair dismissal, all those things, but these companies are not coming. That is why we decided, or no, let us approach the government to intervene, and then we explain to them, or this is the situation. Yeah. Because when we file a case at bargaining council, they're not coming. Other company, they will just send a letter or no, the one who's supposed to come and then represent the company is sick. Yeah. And then others, they don't even reply or no, we are coming or we are not coming. That's the situation. We are saying government because we employ these people. You know, can you please address, we are only demanding one thing, for these poor workers to return back to work. Because remember, their policies lapse, some of them. If somebody died today, nothing is going to happen.
Unfortunately, this is the time we have for this conversation. It's a sad story, but we're hoping that by giving you a platform such as this one, your cries are going to be heard. Thank you very much for highlighting the plight of these workers. Andries Potsane, he's the General Secretary of the union representing the workers, Sfiso Skosana and Rosina Mahlangu. Thank you very much.